What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome.
Now, don't forget, if you want to see us live, Valentine's Day, February 13th, we're doing it live at Caroline's. You can hit up www.carolines.com. We're going to do this live. There's going to be a lot of people there. There's going to be questions. There's going to be comedians. We're going to bring some special guests. There's going to be a lot of fun for you couples out there. So join us February 13th, the day before Valentine's.
Come over.
And that's the KC Crew. All right. Now, again, carolines.com. If you want to see us, hang out with us, it should be a lot of fun. Gia's nervous. Gia told me, I'm nervous. I never did this live in front of people.
I'm like, you just want me to get up in front of people and just start talking like it's all good?
You'll be all right.
I think I'll be all right.
Now, we got some special guests in the building with us today.
Yes.
Now, she's a friend of ours. She's a recording artist. Gia told me, you got to write down everything. Like, you have to introduce her. Okay. Aww. She's a recording artist.
Yes, you have to give her accolades.
She has 4 studio albums. She's been nominated for Grammys. You've heard her with Ja Rule. You heard her with Jay-Z. And you heard her by herself. She's co-host of
Fabulous. I was
Fabulous
about to say.
And Fabulous.
Because she had a lot to do with Fabulous's career kind of launching and skyrocketing. Mm-hmm. She kind of introduced him on Superwoman.
Motherfuckers, Lil Mo's in the building.
Yes!
Right? There you go. Yes. Little Mo's in the building.
Yes, sir.
And her better half.
Yes.
I say the better half, usually the other way. We call him Dynamite. Mm-hmm. All right, he's from Philly, 17-1 professional boxer. Dynamite's in the building. What's up, sir?
Karl Dargan.
What's poppin'?
How you know if he wanted his government name out there?
His government. Anybody with Google can find out his government name. Government name. So I didn't let anything.
With the Wikipedia.
I didn't let anything out of the bag.
Little Mo's Wikipedia says Little Mo is 49 years old.
Which is a lie.
With 22 kids.
And then I saw one of the Wikipedia, and that wasn't even me. I said, they just found some brown-skinned chick with big lips. And I said, wow. Wow.
They said that'll do. That'll do.
I really realized on Wikipedia, anybody can update your Wikipedia.
Yeah,
anybody.
Who's the Wikipedia CEO? Like, they just be adding stuff.
Because when I saw that, I said to her, I'm like, how could they just do her so dirty and say that she's 49?
They got my birthday
I'm
in
like,
July.
she's a baby. That's crazy.
Oh, you never seen mine?
No, I never looked.
I'm the president of the Waffle Color
Wikipedia.
Negro Foundation. I'm a god. Like, they do me
Wait,
dirty.
but aren't you though?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
They do me dirty every
49?
trip.
You 49?
Well.
On Wiki.
Mo ain't no damn 49.
I was like, that's so crazy.
He tries it.
Now, I want to talk about a lot. There's a lot with you guys.
Yes.
You guys have been together for a while now. You guys have 8 kids together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids. You beat me again.
Absolutely.
5 that
we don't
I
want to
gave
get
birth
there.
to.
Okay.
And my tube's not tied, but then 3 bonus babies. 3 that he came with, like, yeah.
Big happy family.
Yeah.
But I want to go back though, Mo, because your relationship in your life is interesting. Now this is your 3rd
to say the
marriage.
least.
And this is my final.
This is your 3rd and final marriage.
This is it.
Now, what happened? Let's start in the first marriage. What happened in the first marriage that went sour, that went wrong, that made you say, I'm out?
Well, first of all, how long ago was it?
That was in 2001.
Okay.
Yeah, '01. You know, that was the year so many things happened. That was the year Aaliyah passed. And honestly, like right after she passed, I was just like, I got to get married and I have to do this because I felt that, okay, let's just take it back further than that. I think I'm Tupac.
What you mean?
Like, I really, I'm the female version of
Tupac, okay.
Because I feel that, like, he was so prolific, and I think if it wasn't for him and just being how he was, I was just like, yo, if he could do it, I know I can. But it was just like, I just felt that he didn't leave a lot behind besides music and memories. Like, there's no Tupac kids. And so I was just like, yo, I have to have a child and leave my legacy behind because if Aaliyah could pass, then I thought I might be next. That was just too close to home because like I toured with Missy Elliott and like Aaliyah was always there. So when that happened, I remember me and Ja was about to hit the stage. We was in LA. We were doing, what's that big show that they have with what is that, Power 106?
Power Out There.
Yeah, Power, is that Power?
Yeah, Power 106.
Whatever that
I don't know them show, yeah.
And I remember Ludacris was on stage and when everybody had their SkyTels, everybody got a page and it was like it said Aaliyah had passed. Wow. And that was the same time everybody died according to Scott. Don't play like that. But then we had got confirmation that she had really passed. And I felt like if that can happen to her, it can happen to me.
It can happen to anyone.
And I literally was just like, I need to get married and hurry up and have kids. And so I got married and pregnant that year. Just all wild. And I equated to being on drugs.
And I'm gonna be being on
What?
drugs.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna be honest. When when it came out that you met the guy in the gas station.
Which was true, but we knew each other before that.
That's the story, that she met the guy
But
in the
you
gas station. But it didn't seem like Lil Mo, though. It was like
Right?
this guy and Lil Mo, no disrespect to the guy, I don't know him, but
Yeah.
it just didn't seem right. I was
Yeah.
like, this doesn't seem right. But I said,
what
oh,
didn't seem right to you from your perspective?
if you know Mo, if you ever talk to Lil Mo, you just kind of know, like, this guy doesn't seem like her and Lil Mo
It
have
just-
anything in common.
That was the year everything was popping. Like, what? We was on the road all wild and crazy. Like, everything that could have been hot, from the stuff I did with Missy, the Ja, the Fab. It's just like, wait, you meet some nigga at the gas station? Like, man, he's like, what is you doing? But nobody would say anything to me. So that was the part where I even told Fab, and I tell you what, I blame y'all for letting me take these L's, because somebody should have told me, like,
Right.
what is you doing?
Out of
I told
pocket.
my father, I said, why didn't you say nothing? He said, because you were grown. I didn't get in your way. I let you make your mistakes. But I always thought, like, well, get married, have kids, so I don't have to be somebody's baby mother.
Right.
And I knew the guy before then, but it was just like, that time we had met at the gas station, he was going to take me to go to, I had a performance in D.C. with Ja Rule. And it was just like, after that, he spilled Hennessy on me, and he was just like, I'll pay for your clothes, you got to clean. I was just like, oh, well, he's the one.
He's the one.
He spilled Henny on me. All my songs is hot. And he acted like he wasn't scared of me. I said, that's the book. Like, that was a sign from heaven. But I was like, what was I smoking then?
What were you
like,
smoking?
all types of weed, all types of ecstasy, like, for real. And people was just like, yo, I didn't know. I said, I just felt that I was so sheltered all my life. My parents being married and preachers, that's all I knew was married, church, and this and that. Thought it was going to be happily ever after. I used to think that once you got married, all your problems, everything went away. Like, I never saw my parents. I was just like, could y'all say y'all didn't have no money? Like, we still have a house and we have a car.
Right.
No such, I didn't know bills and,
Right.
being an adult was really, so I just really got caught up in that Lil Mo shit, and it really cost me some years.
So now, how did the drugs become introduced into your life?
Hanging around rappers, just being around, just like, yo, smoke this and what? I never used to curse. I said my first curse when I was 17. People was like, in high school, I'll give you $400 to say shit. I was like, no, because I'm gonna die and I'm gonna go to hell and all this. I was like, really
Good girl.
They used to call us the fake ass Cosbys. That's how perfect. That's how it seemed.
Right.
Because everything was. My dad told me never, like, disrespect the family name. Don't, when you become famous, don't be. I never take a picture with it. I'll be drunk like this. Be done peed on myself. Trust me. It used to get real, but you would never see it in a photo. It's certain things you won't see come out of me, and that was just the way I always had it structured. But just hanging around rap. Oh, smoke this. Oh, shoot, like, they never told me about this. Here, take one of these. Matter of fact, take a half. And just being around on the scene. And then just
And it's kind of like letting a bird out of a cage in a
Ooh,
sense.
yes.
Because when you're so sheltered and then you get a little taste of life.
And that's what I'm scared
It's
about
like
with
you
our daughter.
OD
That's what
because
I'm scared about with our
you
daughter.
don't know how to take it all in and what to do with it.
Yeah.
And, your boundaries kind of get blurred because you're in the same boat with curiosity and all these other things. So
I
then,
was curious as hell.
yes, that's what
Like,
happens.
She ain't
I
had no
literally-
old heads. You
I
ain't
didn't have
to school
nobody-
you to,
Yeah, to
like,
grip me up.
Like with
Right.
our children, like our oldest daughter,
Yeah,
she's
she's
14, and it's like, okay, she's getting to the age now. She's starting to like boys in school. And
Right.
everything. I'm not the father to her. No, you can't talk to this guy. You can't.
'Cause then
they're
she'll
gonna
sneak.
do it. They're gonna do it.
Right.
So the thing to solve all that is basically, look, school it to the game.
We pulled up to the ball.
You feel me?
We
School it
pulled
to
up
the
to the
game.
school.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course.
Because she was like, I want to go to, what is it? Because I wasn't allowed to go to
like a- it was like
homecoming.
a school- a
or
homecoming
dress. I
dance
didn't
or
go to
something
the
like that.
prom. None of that. All the
Oh,
girl
wow.
stuff.
You were really-
It was like shelter. But I think because I didn't wear dresses, so I was like, that came from, like, when I was young, I was molested. So, like, all of the fears that you ever have as a parent, stuff like that happened to me.
Molested by who?
This guy we went to church with, me
Wow.
and my sister. And so I was just like, if anybody ever does that to my kids, I'll kill him. Like, when I did R&B Divas, that's the first time my parents knew what had happened.
So you
because-
never told your parents? Why
Never.
didn't you tell your parents?
Because I was like, when you're young and they tell you that, oh, if you do this, then I'll do something to your parents and stuff like that.
Right.
Then you just think like, oh my God,
Is
like,
that
it's
actually
my
what he
fault.
told you?
That's what he told me. Until my cousin, when my sister told my cousin stepped to the boy at church and was like, you touch my cousin again, I will kill you and your whole family. And it never happened again.
How old were you and how old was he?
I was about 5 when it started. And so then when I found out with my sister, she probably was about 5 when she started, but I was already, so we're all stair steps. So 5, 6, 7, 8. By the time I was 8, that's when it probably like began with her. And I was just like, why didn't you say nothing? And I literally remember telling her, well, don't mess with my sister. If you're gonna do that to her, don't do that to her. Then just do this to me, not my sister. And I really could have been like messed up. But a lot of people, they'll turn promiscuous. Me, I used to dress like a tomboy. I wanted to be a boy so bad. Like, I went through a lot. I went through a lot. Yeah.
And he
What-
almost got his legs broken.
How old was he at the time?
Oh God, he probably was around 10, because they were like
Okay,
older.
so it
he's older.
wasn't a grown man.
Oh, no.
It was.
But then we later
someone-
found out that stuff was going on in their household. So
Right.
Somebody was doing it to him,
yeah,
which made him do it
it's
to
usually
somebody
a,
else.
it's usually a
Learned
cycle.
behavior.
Yeah,
Damn.
and I was just like, yo, that's it's crazy, and it didn't kill me. But now the way I with my kids, they be like, dang, I said, no, you just don't understand. Like, trust me, I'm this way for a reason.
Those are my two biggest fears with my daughter. One, her being abused
Yeah.
and scared to say something, and
Yes.
two, her coming out of that shell
Yeah.
and then just seeing stuff like, one thing with us, I'm from Queens, she's from Brooklyn, so we got a chance to see, you from Philly.
Right.
Well, you from Long Island, you from
Long
everywhere.
Island. And we lived everywhere. My dad was in the military, so he was in Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, North Carolina, then Maryland.
So you got to see everything.
The
You got to
world.
see the hood. You got to see the world. So
Yeah.
for my kids, they don't see that side. So I'm always scared that when they go to school or go to college or go someplace, they'll turn to be that. Even though we raise them right,
Yeah.
but I don't want them to be that wild. But
Yeah.
touching them scares me. The other day, I was putting my daughter to sleep, and I told my wife this, and
Which daughter?
London,
Right.
put London to sleep, and London goes, Dad, Irma touches me.
So
Right?
Irma's our nanny
Okay.
that
So
puts
I'm like-
them to sleep.
I'm like, what? So now that's my
Nice.
face right there, right? So I'm like,
I
what you
will
mean she
bring
touches
Irma
you?
the fuck-
See?
I'm like, how does she touch you? Where does she touch you? She was like, well, she puts her hand on my back and rubs my back before I go to
Oh,
sleep.
okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
But I wild, just like you did that reaction. I was like, I
Yeah.
started sweating. I started breathing hard.
Yeah.
But, it scared the ish out of me because I'm thinking my daughter's 3 years old and here's somebody touching her. You know?
For the
I-
record,
Heart dropped
Irma
to your-
she
is amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the
We
most
love-
amazing
But I
nanny
She's
ever.
the
I
most
asked my
amazing
sons-
nanny ever.
But you never know.
My
Yes.
heart dropped to my toe when you was just
Same,
explaining.
I'm
right?
like, what you mean?
Yeah,
but
like,
I
kidding me?
ask my kids now. I was like, and I ask the baby. I tell them to say, no, don't touch my wee wee. Like I tell him, I say it, and I ask my son because sometimes he'll be acting shy. I'm like, somebody messing with you, because just know, like,
Right.
mommy loves you, and I'll do a bid
Now to go
for my
back
kids.
back to your first husband. So when did you say it's over, it's wrap, I'm leaving? Like what was the last straw?
So but before you answer that, were you ever actually really in love with him?
Now I could say no,
Because now you have
because
a clear
now that I
understanding
know what being in love is.
of
Yeah.
what love is.
It was just, it was convenient. It was fun. I was still young, and I was just like, yo, like, this is super cool.
Right.
I mean, I don't have to. All right, so the church says you get married, and then you have your kid. Good. I'm in the, I've done made it in the logbook. I done followed the checklist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You going to heaven.
Yeah, I thought I was in.
Right,
You
right.
know, and I could just say that, just like with now that looking back, everybody wants to call. No, phone ain't ring all day. As soon as we get here, everybody want to call. It's probably the kids. Okay. But it was just like, now looking back, it was just me trying to stick by that checklist. This is my husband, but a lot of stuff went on in our marriage that, honestly, one of my OGs, now that I think about it, he was just like, you don't do that kind of stuff. Like, if you do that in your marriage, it should be like fun and for you guys, not for
Right.
just them using you. He basically told me, and a lot of people say, I don't get involved in marriages, but you know when you're being used.
Right.
So then I started feeling like, he doesn't love Cynthia. He loves Lil Mo. Then I started feeling that. And then it was just too many things that was happening. That's when I first started doing radio. Shout out to Thea. She gave me my first radio gig. I was pregnant with my daughter, Heaven. And I'm just like, when you're pregnant, I thought everything was nobody gonna mess with me.
Right.
Nobody, and if you're somebody's wife, they're supposed to shelter you and protect you from anything the outside world. That's the purpose. That's all I saw my father do, is protect my mother. She's not
Right.
supposed to shed a tear.
Right.
Man, baby mothers was calling, people was calling, and that's when I think MySpace was out and everything. People were sending me messages. Yeah, your husband was just over here, and I'm just like, what? I know how much change is in your glove compartment or whatever, that ashtray in your car. or
Wow.
calling, giving shout outs on the radio saying, yeah, this is so and so, having a dude call and act like they was my husband, who would be right there saying, I want to give a shout out to so and so. And I'm just like, are you serious? And I said, you better make it stop or else I'm out. And I'm a Scorpio, and I'm like a true one. Like, when I could be with you today, but if I with you later on that night, like, you don't exist. I don't remember anything that happened. I literally deleted that whole situation besides my daughters, and I'm just like, y'all dad, like, who? Baby father, that doesn't exist to me. Baby fathers don't exist to Lil Mo or Cynthia. So whatever I was married to, I wrote it down like, and in a book and a diary. Other than that, I would have no recollection.
Wow.
But I knew it was over when people are allowed to basically
Get to you.
yeah, get to me. Like, how are you allowed to contact me? And you're allowing this? You're allowing people
He
in my
was
car.
letting people
And
get
then
at you.
He stole some money from. I used to after every show I would put $2,000 aside. I said, once I have like my daughter, I'm gonna save this up. And by the time like I had saved up, I was so happy. I think I saved up like $54,000.
Wow.
So it was just like I was torn all. I was so hyped, and I said, I'm gonna give this to her. Was it her first birthday or second? Whatever it was. And I came home one day, and it was the what do you call it? A safe I had in there that only he knew it was. It was open, and they stole just the money and nothing else. I said, wait a minute.
Stole the 54,000
The 54,000
For your
daughter.
Cash, yes.
for
Which
y'all
was-
daughter
which
together.
was
That's
his
his daughter as
daughter.
well.
Yeah. And what did he tell
That's
me?
some
He
coward
just-
stuff
Then he
right
tried
there.
to blame it, say it was somebody else, maybe so and so. I said, no, because where we lived was in the middle of nowhere. No. And when I called the cops said, well, first of all, there was no forced entry. Second of all, because there are federal agents that live, there was no reports or anything. He said, the cop put me to the side. He said, this was definitely an inside job. And he said, as much as I know, of course they don't get, because in Maryland, anything that happens under the marital covenant, like,
Right.
he said, like, if y'all are married, Gia could come in and trash this place and steal everything. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Y'all have to hash it out in court.
That's your
I
life,
can't press no
man.
charges or nothing. So what's crazy was I forgave him and then had another baby. And
If
I
that's
just
your
was
wife,
like, you
you
know
should
what?
be able to ask for that
This-
if you needed that.
Right.
Like,
But
Absolutely.
he never admitted
like,
to
what
it.
is you?
No, all
Don't
he did was just
probably
like, he
felt
admitted
less
to
of
my
a man
dad.
if he going to her like, yo, I need this money. and-
But you
Yeah.
steal money for y'all daughter. It's not even like it's, I mean, it's for the family.
But
But
he
he-
admitted to your father.
Yeah. And he used it for
That he
stuff I
did it.
told him to not be involved in. When it comes to that street stuff, don't try to, I'm going to throw this out here right quick. But why would you use that money? If anything, that's when, a walkthrough was like 20,000. Just be like, wait, you mean to tell me all I got to do is just sit here and wave high and y'all going to just give me this in cash? Woo, I love the music industry. So if you're going to steal that from me, which was for our daughter, it wasn't nothing like,
Right.
this was our pot. And if you take some out, put it back. Because my mother always told me have a secret stash. Like, you did this. So just imagine what else you was doing. It was just too much going on. It was just indiscretion. And once I found out he cheated, I started cheating. I was just like, yeah.
So it was a wrap after
It was
that.
a wrap because once my heart is out of it.
It was out of it.
Yeah.
But now you said that he was using you.
Yeah.
In what respect?
Just basically
Aside from you being Lil Mo and
that was the whole aspect because he was never accustomed to any type of lifestyle. Like, one thing I could say that I'm guilty of is I always try to save a nigga. That's what I try to do. Like, get you out these streets. Trust me, you're a good dude and this and that. And like,
it's like the maternal nature in you.
yeah, I really tried to make him something that he didn't grow up to be. I try to make him a man. And I'm just like, that's like bringing a stray cat or something in. It's just like whatever they're used to, that's what they're going to be used to. Like, when he was married before, like you got married because you thought you was going to go to jail. So that's what you, like, it was just, I found that out later. I was just like, why did y'all let me do this to myself? Oh, Lord. And then,
You need
like,
friends, Mo. You need close friends, man.
you know
need
what? But
good
I don't trust
friends.
people.
Sure.
It was just me.
I said this thing. I don't trust. I ain't got no friends either. But I don't really trust. Am I lying?
Got no
I gotta call
friends.
Gia. Even when I'm mad at Gia, I gotta call her. Be like,
Yeah.
babe, I know you mad, but listen, just listen. Man, it's the same.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward to now your second husband.
Oh, God.
But
Now,
wait,
he was-
before that, so with him you had 2 children.
Yes.
2 girls?
2 daughters, Heaven and Goddess.
And Goddess.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, babe.
Now he found a gospel singer.
Yeah.
Now this makes me seem like you did this because you thought he was holy.
Yeah.
You thought he was religious.
A man of the
You
cloth.
thought he was a man
Yeah.
of the cloth, right? Am I right?
Yep.
Okay. And now what happened is you found out
Well,
he
I was
wasn't.
already pregnant and I didn't know. And so once I had found out, I said, well, this is what we're going to do. Because I was like, I don't believe in abortion. I said, if you out here just being reckless, there's certain things that can happen. You could get a disease, you could this, that. So I found out I was pregnant. I was just like, in the church, if usually when someone he was a minister of music, usually what they would do back in the day is they would sit you down, meaning that you would have to take not a sabbatical, but it's almost like being, when you get not laid off from your job, like a lot of those police where they get administrative leave.
Administrative leave.
But then it's like the same thing. You get sat down because technically you should not be fornicating,
Right.
you shouldn't be doing any of that. And we was out here. He was not my minister of music, but my music director, and we was just living a life. I was still popping perks and pills, just out here, just wild. And I had got pregnant. I was just like, oh shoot, now I got to tell my dad. And my dad is a bishop. He was like, well, it's up to you. I said, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't know how far along I am, but if I go and I see a heartbeat, then I'm not gonna follow through. And sure enough, I saw a heartbeat. I was like, oh God, now I gotta marry, isn't it? So it was just like that. And then
You had another baby with him though too.
Yep. And then before I left, after we was shooting R&B Divas, I was pregnant again. But that time I was like, no, I knew I wasn't that far along.
You think you was just looking for love and just looking
I
for
grew
somebody?
up with love. I grew up. I don't have a daddy issue.
A lot of women do that though, and
They
that's
do.
100% wrong because they just looking for somebody
I
to
was trying to
accept
find
them.
my dad.
And then exactly.
And what's crazy is they were straight, and that's not what my dad is about. I was just trying to be married. I thought that, okay, once you get married, I was like, okay, this is really going to be the go-to because he's in church and this and that. But the stuff that went on in that marriage, it was worse than the first one. It was so much worse. And my sister was like, well, I tried to tell you, you just don't listen to nobody. I said, I do, but it's all about how you do. Are you trying to speak to me or through me?
Right.
Because it's a way you have to, it's all how you deliver to me. Because if I feel you coming at me, I'll be like, now I'm going to do it because I'm rebellious, and now I'm going to make all y'all pay.
Right.
And so I have 2 sons from that union, which it was just, I used to hate going home. It got to the point that union was so messed up, my daughters wasn't even talking to me.
Wow.
And that's out of
Really?
pocket. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, Mo. You know, see, baby, I was telling
You
you,
would
a
never
lot of
know.
women look like they go so hard trying to find a relationship
Yeah.
that they have blinders on and don't see the fucked up things in that relationship.
Well, a lot of times people see what they want to see because they want to end up where they want to end up. So they block out a lot of the negative and they
Yep.
just allow themselves to see the positive.
Right.
And then, you get so far down that path that when you realize what's going on, you look back and see how many yards you done trudged, and, it becomes difficult to rectify at that point.
Right. So now you meet Dynamite.
Yeah.
So now Dynamite, first of all, how did y'all meet?
Well,
And how did y'all meet?
Well,
And what
the
made?
first
It's a
husband.
story.
Wait, do you know
We
Woo?
got time.
Woo used to be, L'Oreal used to manage me, and Woo is his.
So
L'Oreal.
who's L'Oreal?
L'Oreal.
Well, I know who L'Oreal, but people
She
out
used to
there might
manage
not.
me. L'Oreal used to manage me, but Woo is his, like, that's his cousin, but they used to try to book me for shows, and
He
me
used
and
to-
L'Oreal used to be on the road. I say they still owe me
Like,
$2,500.
Will used to, he used
Walk
to-
through.
Which
he was
one?
managing. He was at the time. He was
What's the guy?
managing Murder Mill. Used
Okay,
to be
Murder
with
Mill.
Jive Records back in the day. So one day we I think we was in a studio, and the Superwoman video came on. So I'm looking. So we looking. So we had it was one of the homies that we had with us, and he was like teasing Murder Mill. He like, oh, that boy Fab, hey Murder. I'm trying to tell you, you ain't fucking with him. You ain't fucking with him. Whatever.
Right.
So we sitting there looking. So I'm looking. She on the drum. I'm like, oh, I said, yo,
That was
who is? I said, yo, who is
6 years
that? I was like, I think I was like 15. I'm like, yo, who is that? I'm like, yo, she must be got. Basically, I'm like, man, she must be got. So, long story short, we wound up. I'm like, yo, Woo, we gotta get her. We gotta get her here. So, whatever we gotta do, book her for a show here or
He was,
walkthrough or
what,
something. I was
16?
like
Was you
15,
15?
16. So we booked her for a walkthrough or whatever. So, we
in Philly.
in Philly. So we sent it the first half or whatever, but some things happened. We wound up ain't nothing go through the line of getting locked up.
But I
Wound up
showed
getting in
up.
trouble. Whatever. So after that, I didn't see it for years and none of that. So on the I think it was 03, 04 on the Rock the Mic tour, I was with Beans. We was in Philly at the now was the Wells Fargo Center.
Right.
So we in backstage. So I see her walk. I'm like, hey Mo, what's up? Yo Mo, what up? She turned around like, yo, what up, young boy? I'm like, like she knew who I was. We knew who each other was, but she was with her first husband at the time. They was together at the time. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So then, what I actually bagged her was we was my god brother was playing for the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Or whatever. He was playing for the Baltimore Ravens, and
Jamil McLean.
Jamil
he
McLean,
came to
yeah.
the Giants, and now
like we used to say little stuff to each other on social media or whatever, but we never
And I was like-
met up or anything or nothing like that. I bumped into her at the Ravens game. It was it was the year they
Was that the Super Bowl
year
year?
Oh,
they
yeah, they
won
won
the
the
Super
Super Bowl.
Bowl.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Bumped
about
into her. So
3 years
I
ago.
bumped into her there. So we started busting. After that, that's what it was.
How did you know Mo was the one?
I was in
Wait,
love
what
with
year?
Mo.
Well, wait, what year was this?
This was
This was
The
that you
Ravens-
bagged her.
that was like it was going on 4 years.
was it?
Because we
It
kept in
was
touch
probably like-
over the years.
I think they won the Super Bowl 2012, 2012.
About
Okay, so
2012, yeah.
about 2012.
Yeah, but we
Okay.
knew each other before that. A lot of people just think we just popped on the scene. I
I
just
was
knew, I
like,
just
no.
met her, and
Mhm.
no, it ain't like that. Like,
Okay,
But,
so
yeah.
how did you know she was the one?
oh man, cause when I
Yeah,
was
how do you know?
15, I was in love with her. When I was
Oh,
15,
really?
I'm like, oh, I gotta get her.
Tell
so
them the thing you made.
when I, when I don't know if y'all remember when y'all did that when y'all was younger. When we were
Everybody
younger,
did that.
we
Them things that go like
I know
the
exactly
thing
what
that-
Oh
you're
yeah,
talking about.
those
Yeah,
things
yeah.
people can't
Right.
see us though.
It's the
It's like the
Paper mache.
origami. Is origami the right word?
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
like
I
those.
was about to say paper mache.
It's
I
like
don't
when
know.
you take a piece of paper and you fold it in a special way,
Right.
and then it
you write-
comes
you
out
write-
into like this origami figure.
You write down
stick your
4 names
fingers
of
into
females.
it,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
you manipulate it so that it
Right.
opens and closes.
Yeah.
So
Right.
okay, so
it
you
was
had
like you
this
write
thing. Go ahead.
You write the 4 names. You write 4
Right.
people's name down. You write a house or apartment, whatever. Long story short, it said that I was going to marry her. We were going to live in a big mansion, and we were going to have like a Ferrari or something like that. With like, and we were going to have like
She's doing a bank
like,
bounce right now.
and we were going to have like 9 or 10 kids or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I actually to this day, I think I still have it.
Wow.
Y'all got
To
that
this
Ferrari
day.
yet? Because y'all kind
I
of
still got
nailed
it to
everything
this
else,
day.
right?
All them kids can't fit in that Ferrari.
we working on
Work
it.
is over.
But yeah,
Okay.
actually to this day, I think I still have it.
I think your mom.
I think I
has
still
it.
have it. I think my
'Cause
mom
she
has
saved
it.
like
So
So-
let me get in your head a little bit. So you
Yeah.
saw the video. You
Uh-huh.
saw the Superwoman video.
Right.
I don't know if everybody out there has seen it. You should have if you have any, hip hop history.
Yep.
What did you see? Was it the beauty? Was it the personality? Was it the charisma? Was it the talent? What did you see in Lil Mo?
At the time,
Mm-hmm.
a fat ass.
I'm done.
Listen, I'm 15. We don't know about it.
So she had to be
So-
got
I
because
mean,
of
it
the
was
fat
like,
ass
that's what caught my attention at first.
at first.
Yeah, at first. it caught
So
my
you were
attention.
in love. Wait, can you stand up? Can I see what this thing?
God. See, I lost this.
Oh,
in-
man.
Wait, let me
It's
see
just not
what this
Them the
whole.
sheets.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame
gone.
you. Hold on.
It's almost back.
I don't blame you. Okay.
Real
All right.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Okay.
I
Cause like back then,
Oh, my
guys had
booty.
guy talk like, damn, she got fat. Oh, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
I'm gonna
has to
get
be
that.
got.
They said
Yeah.
order her down.
So now, Mo, how did you know he was the one? Now you've been in 2 effed up marriages.
Yeah.
What made you want to jump into the third, and how'd you know he was the one?
Just his whole approach was different because we just keep in contact over the years and just like laughing and joking like, oh yeah, But when I knew he was the one, wow, that's a great question. It just felt totally different.
Than the other 2 marriages.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and just like I was filming in LA and he was out here and I was just like, look, don't start that. Like I really don't have the time. I got all these kids and this is like I already know what you got. I already know it. And then he
Because
just
at that
broke it
point you
down.
have 4 kids.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was just like, I really don't have the time. So we were filming, and it was my sister's birthday is February 15th, and we had off from filming like the 13th through the 16th. And so I was like, I'm gonna fly to the East Coast, but that big storm had came, and he was like, well, if you ain't able to make it out here, man, I'm gonna just wild out in Philly. I'm gonna just go. And I was just like, listen, we good over here. The flight may be able to go out, but I don't know if I'll be able to come back. But then they started canceling all these flights. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. And he was like, yo, you should surprise your sister. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what you like? I love my family, like to the point. So it was just just the way he went about things, and I wound up flying out here, and he just like for him being a hood nigga, you're not supposed to, that courting period, I said, listen, I don't want to have no sex. I don't have, like, I can't do that right now because, listen, I get pregnant too easy. If you just look at me wrong, I'm going to be like, I don't have the time. Emotionally, I wasn't available. I just know how I am.
Right.
So I said, if you want a relationship, I'm not the one. But if you want a friend, I'll be your friend. Then we just like, just
So you
start
didn't want a
talking.
relationship?
No, I didn't. Because I said, I don't want to introduce my kids to anybody.
Right.
And me and my daughters had just got back on basically a speaking term. Like, they respected me. As a mom, I was there. But just like far as just everything else, they just didn't want to be around.
She ain't know, like, oh, she didn't want a relationship. It was already over for her.
That's what he
man,
said. And I was
it
just
was
like,
already over for
yo,
her.
and I already had
She ain't
my
even
staff
dig it.
together. I told my road manager, I said, if he tries something, y'all just come through. Y'all pull up and we just gonna kill this nigga.
No, wait. Hold on. Now, you said that your first two daughters, they weren't really
Heaven
on
and Goddess.
speaking terms with you.
Yeah. It would make sure they
Because
went to
of
school.
your relationship with your second husband?
Yes. They did not
Okay.
like him. And I found that out when we were filming. I said, now listen, when y'all mic my kids up, we don't rehearse anything. So whatever they say, they're real, they're raw, and they're respectable, but I don't know what's going to come out of their mouths. And my daughter was like, she put her head down. She was just like, I didn't like him. And I was like, okay, I understand that. She was like, but I didn't like the way that you looked. And I said, what you mean? She's like, you wasn't happy and I didn't want to be around you and I didn't want to disrespect you. So I just wanted to be with grandma and with Auntie Ree. And she was just like, oh God, this is her, like, just to see, like, just to see what my daughters was hurting because of the decisions that I made. That shit fucked with me like for years. And I was like, I can't do this to them. Forget me. I was just like, I done lived. I made mistakes. But just to see what it did to my kids, man, my daughters, like, they could have really been out here at a young age because I believe, like, and just the way that now thinking back how he used to just like talk about my kids, your kids is so spoiled, they this and that, they gonna just, and I was like, no, they're not. So I'm fighting this thing, and you're not supposed to disrespect your husband over your kids. The man comes first. And I was like, man, forget it. Like, I'm not trying to hear all that. So then once I finally let that situation go, I just saw like people that genuinely love me come back into my life. Like my daughters, they was just so excited to have their mommy back.
Because he was like a poison.
He was.
He was a poison.
He was.
And
I
he
don't
was
care.
keeping everyone that really wanted to be
did.
close to you
God.
away.
But you
like,
know,
even to my parents, like, you a daddy's girl. You just, and I was just like, I started believing. I was like, well, I gotta listen. I gotta be submissive and obedient. But that joke was out of pocket.
but that's how I knew
God.
when that Dynamite was the one, because I didn't know him.
Well, you knew he was the one too?
I know. I'm gonna tell you how.
Oh, okay.
Because
That's my man right there.
nah, because on real. When I used to see Mo do radio, or I would follow her on Twitter, it was a different type of Mo. It wasn't a bitter Mo. It was a happy Mo. It was a how you doing Mo. It was and people threw shots at her, and it was just a different Mo. Even, Mo's gonna throw a shot back regardless. So if you say something about Mo, she gonna throw a shot back. But it wasn't a spiteful throw it back. It was take this, and I'm happy.
Exactly.
And I was like,
because she doesn't have to care because she has her back.
absolutely.
He has her back. So I don't have to care about what you think or what your opinion is, because I got this man right here that has my back.
Right. So when I seen it, I was like,
Security.
Mo is happy. And that made me happy because I was like, it was a different sign of Mo. And that's why I was like, he's the one. I didn't know him. I mean, I didn't know him, but I was like, he's that's why I asked. I said, he was the one for Mo. And I'm glad you guys got together because you guys hold each other down. He put you in your place. You put him in his place. I mean, you never heard Mo on radio. Like, I tell everybody, Mo is perfect for radio because she's going to say what she wants.
Wait, hold on. But did you say that in the beginning that she's a radio host?
Yeah, she's a radio host.
In D.C.?
No, I
don't
didn't
know
say
if you
that.
said that.
No, she didn't say that.
Okay, let the people know.
She has her own show in D.C.
Yes.
What's it called? The Fam in the Morning?
The fam in the morning.
The Fam in the Morning, her and Quicksilver. But Mo is that person where she doesn't bite her tongue. She says what she feels, how she feels, she does not bite her tongue.
I mean, you've always said that she's so dope.
Yeah,
That's
I
why I
thought she was
wanted
dope
to
radio.
meet you so badly.
Aw.
Yes, because Sean, he was like, you know what? She's so dope. She has a radio show, and he was just running down all of your positive attributes. I'm like, you know what? I can't wait till next time we're in DC so we can tune in and listen. I want to hear
Yeah.
what it is that you're talking
But I
about.
thought it was dope because she can say what she wants, and then if a singer comes up and tries to test her, Mo will give her those
I'm
bars.
like, give me the mic.
She
Yeah.
will give you those bars. Like that, and that's
Give
what I
me the
always
mic.
said. So it was never, so that was the best thing about it,
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad you guys found each other. But I gotta ask, he's younger than you.
Yeah.
So how is dealing with that?
Well,
Because he's younger. He's out and about in the streets. He's in the club. He's everywhere.
Yeah, but like I told you when I first met her, I was out here when I
He
was a
grew up-
kid. I left
yeah.
home when I was like 13,
How'd you grow up so
14.
fast?
crazy,
I
right?
had to. I had
cried
to.
at his, like,
I was young. I left the crib like 13, 14 years old.
actually
you
before
know,
that, because you were boxing.
When I was younger,
so
like I was 13. No, I'm sorry. I was 14, 15. When I ran out, I was like, I had just turned 15. So, but what happened was I started staying with my cousin Woodgie. And when I was younger, like, he was in the streets a lot. When I was younger, my mom used to keep him away from us and all that. Like we weren't allowed to be around him or whatever because she didn't want
The influence.
stuff exactly,
Right.
basically. So I start hanging. I started living with him. When I started living with him, I started being around people his age. He was the youngest. He was 22 at the time. So 22,
grew up
I'm
fast,
15.
yeah.
I'm 15. The next youngest person is 22, which is him. And he was the youngest of his peers. So I just
Grew up fast.
grew up mad
what you was
fast.
doing when you was 15? Like his stories.
Mad fast.
are
Like,
great,
man, man, I was basically like the getaway driver for the squad.
That's crazy.
at 15.
Like, yeah, I was like, man, it's not really too much I haven't seen or been around.
So what made you want to give that
Since-
life up? Like, because you said you are younger.
And crazy thing about it, I started boxing when I was 7. So I was boxing and doing all of that shit.
traveling the world.
But what happened was, like I told you, when we booked her for the show, the feds was on us. So my cousin Woodgie wound up doing a bid for me, actually. He did a bid for me. Took a gun case and wound up going to the feds. And he was like, yo, I'm gonna take this bid, I'm gonna take this case, I'm gonna do this bid, but I don't want you in the streets.
You
When
gotta
I
change
come
your life,
home,
right.
Yo, when I come home, just have a car for me and $20,000.
But isn't that a lot for a 15-year-old?
He said, have a car for
Like-
me and $20,000.
I mean, not for nothing. He took a gun charge, man. He could have been sitting there.
But at the end of the day, when he got booked, I knew I had money. I wasn't rich, but I had some money. For a 15-year-old, I had money.
Right.
You feel me? I had money, and I knew where his money was. So basically, I was left with overall probably about $100,000.
See, well, yeah, 20,000 a car
But
seems
at
right.
15 years old,
So I was left
Yeah,
with
no,
like-
that's a lot to deal with.
I
No,
would
That
be
you're
is-
so
right.
that
I
is
would be
growing
so
up very
scared,
I was
fast.
left with like $100,000, and like I wasn't to the point to like, oh, I have $100,000. No, I was like, okay, all right, I
had
got
to make that work.
$100,000. Okay,
So you were forced to grow up fast.
exactly.
It's like the streets raised
so
you
all I had
type
to do was,
situation.
hey, just make sure I got money on my books, and when I come home, just have a car for me and $20,000.
Now, you weren't nervous, Mo, for him being younger than you and him
No.
being from the streets, and
No.
because you're the perfect example of righteous and ratchet. Like, like we always talk about it on the Breakfast Club, but
Yo,
you
oh
are
my God.
ratchet.
Wait,
as
wait.
a
How
mother.
did you put it? Civilized and savage,
Yeah.
right?
That's what she
Oh
is.
my God, R&R.
Because, but I like
Civilized and
that.
savage.
But it was just like on our way here, he was telling me, I said, do you ever feel like you got played? He was like, when he was 15, he's lived that life. Like when he was 15, he had women, 24 years old, school teachers and adults. Those were his chicks. And I was just like, oh my God, our sons, they're going to be thoughts. So he got like his thoughting out of the way. But it's just like, it's crazy how the exterior, you just be like, oh my God, he gonna be so wretched. But his heart, that's what I see. So nobody gets to see that. Nobody gets to see when he's just like, yo, just hold me, just hold. Some people, well, what you want me to hold you for? I'm not that chick. I don't go through. It's just certain things. I don't know. My mother, she was just so dope. I don't go through. I don't care about none of that stuff. It's just like, I done seen the top of the mountaintop, and I done seen the scum of the earth. I done damn near been married to it too. So it's nothing he can't do or say that I ain't seen before. But don't come over here with that bullshit because I have children and I have to be. We both have to be cognizant. Whatever we do, they'll do. But it'll be with this social media and stuff. It'll be times 10. So as much as I'll try to shelter them from a lot of stuff, they're a product of us. So they bound to be there. So I'm like, okay, if you want to go out there, and I never used to do that before. I used to didn't care. I was like, if you want to go out there and do all this and all that, just remember you have sons that look up to you. You have daughters that are going to run into a dude like you. So just, and that's what
Well, your
keeps us
kids are at
above.
an age now where they can hold you accountable
And
for your actions.
everything.
Because
And they have,
it's all out there for them to see, for
Exactly,
them
and
to
I'm just
Google,
like-
for them to go to
and they'll
social
ask.
media. So as parents that are in the public
Every-
eye, you're not just responsible to your wife. You're
Yep.
not just responsible to your God. You're also responsible to your kids.
Yep.
You know, because they're
And-
going to look at you and they're going to judge you.
We have to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
it's not even like the whole lifestyle because he's lived that. And it's just like once you're out there, then you're just like, man, I had fun before I was 24, got it out of my system. So I just wanted to make sure that that was all out of his system. That was one. Number two is because we have children by other people, I'm just like, yo, I don't, and I'll say this, people be like, oh, co-parent. No, what goes on this house is this house and y'all house is different. Because a lot of people don't realize just because I'm Little Mo, it don't really mean nothing when you're at home and you have to deal with your children. And then
Right.
when you have to deal with yourself, like all the decisions you make, I can't just make them for me. It has to be for him, and for every move I make, from when I get up in the morning, everything I do has to benefit the Dargans. That's it. And so I used to ask him, I'd be like, I don't do that baby mother stuff. So you got one chance, and one of them come at me, and you don't straighten it out. It's a wrap because I know I am. But even before, I already got it in pocket because I said one thing about me and my kids' father, which they don't exist to me. We don't have to have a discussion. If you think you're such a great father, you may not have been a great husband. Our kids have every latest phone. You can call them, and if that's what you feel. But I'm just like, be careful because we raised them. We have a solid foundation. You're not gonna be out here. I tell my kids like the other day. Now with this Instagram Live, my assistant was logged on and let the kids be on. And my son up there yell. I said, "Get him off that thing. Don't you play because those are my fans. Sit your ass down. You think I don't feel like singing? Sit your. I will drive down to Maryland, whip your ass, and come back and act like nothing. Stop it." And he apologized. So don't get out here and think that you're gonna all these years the assault that I went through, like all this stuff I've been through. You think you're gonna ruin that? No. And I told him that too. All of these years and all of this blood, all of this sweat, all of these tears, all of this bullshit that I've been through. You think you're gonna come and destroy that? Hell no.
Now,
So-
how was dealing with, because you got to deal with two baby daddies.
Yeah.
You got to deal with baby mamas.
No,
We don't deal with
no, listen, no.
No, they
At the end
can
of the
talk to
day,
the
I told her, listen,
liaison.
number one, they wasn't coming around. They wasn't, nothing. So I said, you know what?
Because you got to discipline the kids.
Listen.
You the father.
Yeah.
Listen,
Wait,
I tell
hold on. So your two previous husbands, they're not necessarily involved in your daughter's lives
At all. They-
Wow.
or your
well,
son's lives.
with the first,
Mm-hmm.
they talked to him, but I haven't spoken to him in years. He doesn't have my phone number. I don't have his. So
Okay, and for
the second
clarification,
one-
how old are your two daughters? 14?
Heaven is 14, and Goddess is about to, because
Goddesses.
she's so excited. She's about to be 12.
Oh, she's about to be 12.
So, yeah.
Okay, so they're in contact with their
Yeah.
father, but not.
But like
You.
far as, but what's crazy is that it's just it's just like, hey, what's up? All right, it's not no. He doesn't go to the school. Don't know what size they wear. But that's their
Right.
relationship.
Right.
But with the sons,
Then your two sons.
they just how old is Jonah? Jonah will be
Jonah's
5.
4. Yeah, he's
But if he
5.
walked in, if bio donor walked
He
in
walked-
today,
he
he'd be like,
walked
who is
in.
that?
Donor.
Really?
He doesn't even know who he
So
is.
it's
Oh,
like,
really?
So you are the dad. So you
So
do
you
everything.
are.
Yeah,
Just
so-
to kind of
right.
remember,
You
he's
know,
like,
in the
yeah,
state of
he took me to
Maryland-
Target one time. I was like,
like in the state of Maryland, like, when they get divorced, they automatically have to basically child support, do all.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? They don't exist. I
keep
said,
it.
don't even take them to child support court. Let them go ahead and don't have no reason for them to be attached to you, no way, shape, or form. No child support, no nothing, because at the end of the day, I got it. This is what I signed up for. I got it. Don't worry about
I
nothing.
love that.
So, they don't got to ask them for nothing. They got to call them for nothing
I
at
love that.
all.
That has
Yeah.
to be
At all.
it's
major for
it
you, what
is.
he just said.
to me it is, but then the jealousy that comes along with it, because with him having other children by other women, a lot of people, well, why didn't I get that? And I asked him, I was like, well, why didn't you? He's like, no, it wasn't even that type of situation. Like a lot of women will sit up here, and I'm like, is it just generation, or are people just so hyped to be a baby mother. I've never in my life seen so many people want to, well, since we're not in a relationship, I'm literally a slide or a pop, like WYD, oh, you wild. Don't tell nobody. Like, you're literally that, and then you'll actually have a kid by somebody that wouldn't think of marrying you.
Yeah, because they want the money.
But
They
it
think they,
create-
they
Well,
think
not
they're gonna
even.
cash out most
It's
of the
not
time.
even always about men that have money. A lot of times, a woman feels as though if they have a baby by you, then that's their claim on you,
And
it's
that's what it turns
undisputed
into.
and it's
Yeah.
undeniable. It's not.
That's so
Yeah, it's
corny to
not
me. It is.
necessarily
No, it is.
always
So
about
corny.
money. A lot of times women just want to
Mm-hmm.
feel like they own a part of you. And all right, you're going to move
Right.
on, but I have your child.
Mhm.
And then you move on, he moves on to the next woman, and that girl feels as though she has something over that woman because she has a piece of you. It's kind, it's just the mentality.
Let me
Could
ask
you
you a
ima-
question.
yeah,
Let me
that's
ask
what
one
I'm
question. He says something real that I believe in. That I mean, people will be mad at me. I always felt that if a female had a baby and the father didn't want to be involved, the female should say, "Fuck him. Don't take him to court. Handle it on their own." Even though that's half his baby, he should be paying. But if that nigga don't want to be involved, excuse my French, if he don't want to be involved,
Go.
F him.
Go.
F him. Like, you don't want that connection. You don't want that money.
Because
It's almost
it's-
like blood money. That's why I respect.
Exactly.
I'll pay that money. They my kids now. Even with Diddy and his situation, what he did for Quincy.
Oh,
he,
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
took care of that. I got that. I respect
You
that
don't
more.
have to call this nigga for
Yeah,
a couple
you ain't
dollars.
got to call him for nothing.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah.
I
Oh.
agree. I agree with that, but you can't take anything away from, let's say, hypothetically, a girl that's, 19, 20, didn't finish college, has a baby, has no way of supporting that baby, has parents that said, well, you know what, you got yourself in this mess, you take care of it. You don't want to have a starving mother and a starving baby when technically it is half of that man's responsibility. So I understand both. It really goes by
We tell them- But you
situation by situation basis.
He's
You
even
can't
told them-
force it. If they want to,
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, you
But-
can force
'cause
it.
It came
Yeah.
a t-
And the
You
law
can
can,
force
the courts
it.
can
it
enforce
became
Yes.
a time. It became a time
Yeah, you
where
can.
What you told them?
the boy's bio father, it was a situation. She got in her feelings and was like, no, he can't see, he can't. I said, no, don't do that. If he want to come around, let him come around.
As soon as we did
but
that,
it was like 3 years that went by. I said, you know what? I'm with you on that now. He didn't want to, do
Right.
it before we gave him the chance. If you want to come get him, you don't need her number. You have her father's number, my father-in-law. You have everyone else's number, But if you really want it, ain't nothing gonna stop you if you want to see your kids.
Absolutely.
Of course not.
But then
I
we
said, you
even
know what? Now
leveled
it goes from you. Okay, you allowed to come see them, but now you can't.
don't even come on this street. But then it got to a point where, because then one of the things that hurt me, we came back from filming, what was it, season 3 of Divas, and we had court papers waiting on us from one of his kids' mother. And in the paper, I said, wait a minute, you had kids before I got around. How come their name wasn't ever in no court paper? And it said he's engaged or married to, because the way the show aired, it looked like we were engaged, but we were already married.
Right.
Okay.
But it had my name in the court papers, and she's on R&B. Why is my name in your court papers?
She want that bread.
You want me to tell you one thing?
Marriage,
One thing.
want that
Good luck
I'll
with
tell you
that.
this. I'll tell you this. I told her this too.
Crazy, right?
Me personally, I was
Like,
I was totally against marriage. I wasn't getting married. I
Ever.
told myself never.
Wow.
Me and my homies like, yo, fuck it, we ain't never get married. Fuck that.
It
we
was
gonna
a
be out here.
pact.
yeah.
We're
I
never
was
getting married.
totally against marriage. When my brother got married, I was
At the
supposed to
wedding.
bring the ring. I had the ring at the wedding, so I was like, yo, did his wife walking down the aisle? I'm like, this nigga really getting married. I'm like, yo, you a fucking
You're
nut.
you're
At the wedding, he
defector.
said,
said,
you
yo,
a
you a
sellout.
He
I
defected.
said, yo, man. so look, I'm like, man, you a nut. So they like, with it, the ring, please. I'm like, they looking at me. They like, the ring, please. I'm like,
I lost it.
At the
I'm
wedding.
like, ring, please. I'm like, he like, yo. I'm like, man, you a fucking sellout, yo.
He
I gave him
said,
the ring. I
who
said
You were
it, like,
so so why were you so against marriage?
I don't know, man. I just
Think
maybe
about it.
because it was I've been played a couple times. You
In what
feel
respect?
me? And exactly. So I was like, you know what, man?
how was you
Fuck
played,
that.
though? Like,
Played
I
how?
mean, like by women.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like basically on our way here, I was telling her at the time. She was like, yo, you ever feel as though you got played? I said, yeah, I got played. and that really made me look at women
You like
different.
chicks
So
are
now it was
sneaky.
like
Like
me,
defensively, like me against you.
exactly. So
You're
now
in
it
my
was
life.
like,
I'm gonna use you for what I need you for what I want you for, and then after that,
was
like
so
you're
now
it was
good
discarded.
hair.
it was the time I was like, you know what?
Stupid.
Wait, what did you say?
They all I was like, they just want your baby because you got good
You
hair.
good for your
Oh
good hair.
God.
Because they don't know, like,
right.
because one thing we did, and this is what I do, but one thing I made that I said, when you had kids before, were you at all the doctor's appointments? He's like, I didn't even know chicks go to their doctor. What? I'd be hyped to go to mine. Like, got an appointment, gotta
Oh,
be
yeah.
there. And I
Oh,
said, well, this is
yeah.
what we're gonna do is like we did everything down to
You're such a mom.
down to
She is, right?
You can see it all over. She's
I
such a
was like,
mom.
I said, because they was just like, well, do you, because he didn't know. I said, what was like the sickle cell trait? I said, well, I have the trait, he doesn't. So we did the blood test. I said, and if she said, if you want while we're here, because a lot of people, they don't know if it's their kid or not. I said, well, we could do the paternity test. Their blood came back. Everything was together. I said, have you done that with all your other children? Or have you just popped up and be like, oh, this bitch said I got your baby? And I was just like, I encourage everyone to just test their blood because you don't know what your kids may have inherited from you. Just think, oh, wow, what that baby fever? Stop doing that because you see a cute baby on the Instagram.
Baby fever.
And I'm just like, you don't know what if that baby has sickle cell because I have cousins with sickle cell when they have to go through crisis or lupus
Right.
or anything that might run in it or crazy that runs in
Or
people's
crazy.
family.
Right, no, you're right.
And so I wanted to make sure that we was good to go and just we did that. And I said, have you done that before? So it's just a lot of things that he put me on the game to with the streets. He was like, yo, play your mirrors. You just walking all around somebody could bust you upside your head like they did. I said, you're right. Like even on down to, I said, you had women, they didn't care about you. They wanted you because they wanted a baby with good hair. Or just say, I'm with Dynamite because they know you be with, y'all always in private jets. We stay at Victor Ortiz's house when we go to California. We're always with somebody. I said, when was the last time you had a dental exam? Don't you know, we about to get his mouth all the way done. They was like, you have pretty teeth. Like, you rocking with bitches that don't even make sure you go to your cleanings or make sure that
She's such a mom,
your
right?
prostate like
You had your prostate checks?
hello.
But my
Yeah.
teeth
You a
is
black
my
male.
teeth is fine.
I took
Yo,
him
no,
to get
no,
his
no.
prostate checked
You
like
have
3
to
weeks
if
ago.
you a black man.
We checked your prostate, right, boo boo?
You're
Yes.
supposed to. I'm just like you have
Thanks.
to go.
Yeah, that's not everything
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
was
tell
gonna say,
everybody.
No, I'm
everything.
just
No,
saying.
Hey, right? We check your prostate, right, baby? Yeah, my prostate is good money. All right, we all right.
Good
Yeah.
money.
We sitting up here talking about you ain't shit, you ain't this, and I was like, he didn't. If he ain't shit, he didn't just become ain't shit. Listen, if he's 31, that's 31 years of ain't shitness that you decided to lay down and have a baby with. You can't blame that on me, sweetheart. We've been dealing with stuff. Somebody they have all these things on the internet. We'll wake up with stuff. I'm like, babe, they talking about you again. Like, man, people. When we found out who it was, I was just like, you dirty dog. It's some people that are so crazy and will go to any length to try to destroy you.
Absolutely.
But
Oh,
when
yeah.
when you like, we got a bond. Like, I'm not.
People don't like happiness.
And I never understood that.
No, people will try whatever it takes.
Not
I mean,
all
you got to have a
people.
strong
Everything.
bond. Some people will.
Not
like,
all people,
I remember one
but-
time I took a picture.
Oh.
Right, you know, and it's the bad thing. People always say, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. And I took a picture, and this one person had 3 different cameras taking a picture, right? Like, so I'm looking like this, but the picture it looked crazy. So she made her own meme, her own caption,
Yeah.
her own, like, I'm sitting there like, Gia and I just started laughing because she really tried to put herself on a blog.
Yeah,
That's what
it
she
was
did.
on her
You know
Instagram, and I liked her picture.
You know
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
crazy?
yeah, you like the picture.
like
the, the funny stuff that people
Like,
send to
come
like
on,
the
you
ball
can't
alerts
be
and stuff, and I
serious.
know the people that run it. I be like, yo, people are. It's crazy
Mm-hmm.
what people will do to be on a blog.
Yeah, right.
And I honestly had to even get hip to that. Like, you don't have to argue with everybody. More. They're not gonna say it to your face. Number 2 is they want you to do that so they can send it in and.
But
I'm
Mo,
like, be famous.
listen,
No,
all of that.
Mo is queen of shooting back a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Clap
Oh,
back.
yeah?
She
Queen
will
of
clap back at anybody. You
And
say
then I'll send somebody to find. I'll be like, yo, I'll put up some bread, find this person, and people be like, yo, I know what
Queen of
school they go
clapback.
to.
Queen of it.
But I had to chill with that because that's energy.
Right.
One
It's
time,
negative
it was
energy.
one time.
Absolutely, it's energy. It's
Too much.
energy. You can't feed into that though. You know, people
I
will
learned.
try to do everything that they can to try to knock your empire down. And you know, you talked earlier about your legacy to destroy that.
Yeah.
But as long as you guys got each other and you got each other's backs, what goes on outside in the world, none of that matters.
Absolutely.
You know, like for me, I don't care about what goes on outside of my house.
Right.
Like I know this man, I know my children,
Yep.
we know our family, we know our close friends, we know the people that have our back, and That's it. People can talk all kind of craziness about you that they want, but it doesn't matter because that's your support system. That's your
Absolutely.
foundation. And if he's all right with it and you're all right with it, then all's good with the world.
And I never had that.
Do you know what I
before.
mean?
Isn't
Right.
that crazy?
So that's
It is.
I mean, and
That's
I can
true.
tell that
So-
And
based
that's
on
all
the
I ever wanted.
conversation that we're having right now. Now with you, aside from the video and the fatty and the peach. Okay, you get past it. You guys have this friendship. You guys kept in contact. How did you know that she was the one? Because we talked about her, but you didn't say, like, what was it that, beyond the infatuation, what made you fall in love with this woman?
You ever, when you're young and, you know, you like, oh my gosh, my dream girl. She's my dream girl. You know, when you, like if you're young, sitting
Look
steps
at you,
in
look
a
at
car,
your
in a
Look
car
at
drive
your
past.
face. Look at you. Have you ever heard him say that about you?
He told me one day.
Women
he was
probably-
like,
people-
But now he's telling the world.
People might think,
Look
oh
at
no, she's
you.
not perfect. She's not this. She's not. Oh, that's fine, but she's perfect for me.
Right.
You feel me? Y'all know
Perfect is
every
relative.
kid at one point sat on the steps and they when they were younger said, "Oh, that's my car on TV.
That's my
Oh,
car.
I'ma
That's my
marry her.
car.
I'ma marry
That's
her."
my car.
So when
Uh-huh.
I brung her to my neighborhood, they like, yo,
He really did it.
Yo, people
Exactly.
like,
They
like
like,
Dynamite
yo.
said he gonna
That
bring
was
Lil
his
Mo to
car.
the hood.
I told them like they was like, yo, dang. I was like, yo, I'm gonna bring her to the block. Well, I'm gonna bring her through. I'm gonna bless her. I'm gonna bless her through the block one time for y'all. I'm gonna bless her through the like, and a lot of like she really changed my life. Like really.
How?
Like really, I told her that. I said, "Yo, you really changed my life," because I was out here in these streets. I was out here. When I say out here, I mean out. There's not too many things I haven't seen or been involved. Like I was out here, so it was like. At times she was like, "Man, get out of here." She wouldn't believe me. So one of my friends went to. He used to play for the Wizards. Rasul Butler. So he used to play for the Wizards. So I was telling him, I was like, yo, man, you really changed my life. So on the way home, she was like, yo, because I introduced her to one of my, he's the head of security for John Wall. His name Jack. So she was like, yo, oh my God, you were really sad. I was like, what you mean? She was like, I was talking to Jack. I'm like, well, what is that? He said, yo, oh my God. He was like, oh, he was just kept saying thank you. I'm like, what you mean? Like, what you mean? He was like, he just kept saying thank you. Like, yo, you changed his life. He was like, yo, he was really out here. If he wouldn't have met you, what he say?
You'd have been dead.
He
He
if
said,
you
go
wouldn't-
look up Joey Molino. And the Molinos are like real thorough, like Italianos. Like they run it. And like whenever, is it Joey? I know it's the
Yeah,
Molinos. He
Joey
said, go look
Molino.
him up. And he was like, that was him. And it's just like, it's only certain ways out the hood. Jail to me is death because everybody's in jail forever. It's just like you're dead. You don't know how to use none of this stuff by the time you come out.
Right.
So it's just like you're dead to everything. So dead or in jail. And he's like, you saved his life. I was like, I can't take the credit for that because he had to want to be saved.
That's right.
I said, but one of the hardest things is getting a hood man out of that mentality. Like he used to literally walk around the house with the gun on him. I was like, yo, like
You don't
we
need that
safe
in the
out here.
house.
It's nothing but deer. He was like, nah.
We in the living room, babe.
But used to really, and I was
Right.
like, yo, and then I would ask people, he's like, nah, it's real out here. I was like, but not where we live. But until people, he was like, you ain't never been boxed in. You ain't never. I said, you right. And I said, wow, it's crazy. Like I never thought outside of just thinking like, oh, I could just go to the store, but then certain things that started happening, I was just like, yo, you really was right. I never thought of it like that. I just would just beeline it to go here, this, and he said, then you got to switch up your program because then people know how you move
Where you going, how
around.
you moving, that's
Yeah.
it.
And I
And,
was just
like,
like, I never
it was-
thought of it like that.
I got comfortable. That's how I knew she was like it was it. Like I
Yeah.
got comfortable.
Which
I
if
can't.
you could fall asleep
if I could
around-
fall asleep around you, then
Like,
I'm comfortable.
I was like,
I was comfortable.
it.
I don't know what it was. It's just like it's like a person say, oh, why do you love this person? You know why you love this person. I could tell you what I love about this person, but I can't tell you why I love this person. I just do. You feel me? It's a feeling. There's an unexplainable feeling.
It sounds like she took care of you.
Like so, a person can say, "Oh, I could tell you what I love about this person, but I can't really tell you why."
You'll never really get it.
Exactly.
You'll never
It's
really
unexplainable.
get it. You have to experience it yourself in
It's-
order to understand what I feel for this person.
Exactly. So I'm like, dang. So I'm like, yo, because it was one day I'm like, man, yo, come on, we getting married.
Is that how the proposal went?
No,
And I was just telling her like, yo, we gonna get married. Like we, I mean,
I was like,
we
for
gonna
real?
get married. Whatever. Like, man, she like, oh, whatever. And I was like, no, I'm dead serious. And the crazy thing about it, I told her when we got there, I told her after that, I was like, yo, I was totally against marriage. My friends was looking like, yo, how the hell did you get him to want to marry you?
And you know what I gotta ask? You know, this is something that was major that I read about months ago. Now you said your pops was in the church preacher,
Mhm.
Christianity,
Bishop?
and you decide
Yes.
to
Bishop,
to
right?
leave Christianity and convert to Muslim.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's when I knew it was
Yeah.
serious. I said she's in love.
And it was years ago because he reenacted. Well, it wasn't the same proposal, but when we did R&B Divas, a lot of stuff that the world didn't get to see because we were, I guess, like behind the scenes. Like, he was supposed to be training for there was a fight in 2015. So I was like, I don't know how they got him out of training, but like
Nothing.
that was crazy.
Or,
He proposed.
I don't want to cut you off, but
No, go ahead. Like,
nothing exists outside of training camp for
like
me.
once they get in
When
the
I say
bag.
nothing, I mean nothing.
Like-
There was a time, and I tell this story to people when to let them know how serious I am about my craft. I was training for a fight when I usually go to Big Bear, California. I was training for a fight, and my little brother got shot by a cop in his back and wound up dying. And I was in training camp, and no one called me. No one notified me of anything that he got shot, because he got shot, but a couple months went by before he passed. They didn't tell me or none of that. They had the funeral and everything. I didn't find out until after
the fight.
I fought. He was already buried. So they was like, oh my God, you're not upset. I said, no. I said, no disrespect. I love my brother to death. You know, and I cried for about 2 days. I love my brother to death, but I told him, listen, y'all understand. I would have broke camp. I still would have had to fight. Life goes on. You feel me? But nothing exists outside of training. I said,
They
if
really
y'all
do
would have
some
told me that,
savage stuff. I was
I would have been scheming while training. I mentally wouldn't have been there. And when I step in that ring, I put my life on the line every time. I know people, I have friends that I knew that died in the ring. I have friends that I know killed people in the ring. So I said, if I'm in training camp, don't bother me with nothing at all. I don't even use my phone. So I can go about 3 months without using a phone. I'm with my trainer. Anyone that's important, they have his number, my trainer's number. They call him and let him know anything that's going on, if it's life or death threatening to anyone back at home or whatever. But nothing exists outside of
and a lot of
training
people
camp.
can't handle that.
Nothing.
Like, just imagine not being able to talk to your husband. So when my phone does ring, I'm like, oh my, it's almost like a jail call. So,
Right.
all right, well, I know you can't be on long. And then you can't start all that mushy stuff crying and, oh, I miss you. It's just like, a lot of people don't know, like, when he really gets in his bag and his zone, like, it's a total different person, especially, and I learned the hard way when they cut weight, because he fights at 135. So when he goes through that and he turns into the demon, I was just like, yo, I can't deal with that stuff. So that's why they about to go away soon. And so that's why we try and store up our chestnuts for the winter, because I know, like, once he's gone, I have to be in a total different mindset, because me, career-wise, I'm about to do another album and all that stuff, and then he has to be in a total different mindset. So anything can happen. I can't, hey, the baby teeth and he done bit it. Like, it doesn't exist. And it's crazy to see him go there. But then once the fight is over, then we good to go. But a lot of people don't
Like the
understand
daddy
the
duties.
sacrifices that we make.
Absolutely.
Like, sacrifice.
So she understood you.
Yeah.
And
But a lot
she
of people be
takes
popping,
care
used to
of
pop
you.
up the gym and
And
That's
she
why I
was your
think-
dream girl.
That's why I think in relationships, when celebrities deal with other celebrities, it works better than a celebrity dealing with a childhood friend or a high school sweetheart, because I think 90% of the time it works out better when a celebrity deal with another celebrity, because they understand
What
their
goes
grind.
into it and the grind.
is that they
Or if you
understand
have
that
somebody
I
that
might not be
understands.
able to see them for days, weeks, months, or whatever.
But I saw
You
my
feel me?
mom do it. When my dad being in the military, he had to go to Korea for a year. And I was like, yo, now that I think about it, like, how did she do that? Or he had to go to Honduras for 10 months. Like, how do you go without
It's like the gift
no
and the,
covering
Right.
for that long. So I was honestly, as much as I hated it growing up, we always moved. Well, we just made friends here. It was honestly preparing me
Right.
for now.
Wow.
So
it's the gift
I
and
was
the
12
curse.
years a slave to them other ratchet marriages, but now it prepared me for now. Now I know how to be a wife. I can honestly say it wasn't all their fault. I allowed it. I accepted it. But then I was just like, I don't have to become that. I see a lot of people become what hurt them, what tried to break them, what stole from them. I could have been a scheming thotty. Like sometimes I look at these chicks and I'm just like, y'all, as much as y'all want to call we up here living, no, you're selling coochie and it's not right.
Selling coochies.
You're wrong. And there's so many people, and I'm just like I always say, inshallah, please don't let that be my daughter. So with the Islam stuff, it's just basically, a lot of people think that you just walk around garbed up, and I said it's so much more to that. It's just my love for God and just to be at peace and just basically have that relationship with God, because growing up in church, we used to just sing. All they wanted me to do was sing all day, be shouting all over the place, and then when I was married and to the person in church, I was just like, no, this is not what God is about. This. I was living. It was foul, and I was
Right.
like,
Wrong.
God was not pleased. And so when I converted to Islam, I had to study first, and you can't just bust up talking about something. Yeah, I'm gonna take my shahada. It don't work like that. Because you can't even take your shahada until like you just have to go through the process. There's so many people saying they love God and, oh, I'm team Jesus. I said, but I don't judge, but you up here cursing and selling more ass than everybody out here. Like I've seen a lot, and I was just like, maybe I had to fix the inner me before I could just come out here and be talking to everybody else. So people was like, what did somebody say one time on the internet talking about, oh, you know that thing must be good. She done switched gods on. And I was like, no.
What did you convert from?
From Christianity.
From Christianity.
From apostolic holiness, which is like one of the most, it's like Pentecostal, but it's like one of the more stricter forms of Christianity ever, because it's like Catholicism mixed with like the 12 disciples, but everything is in Jesus' name, which I still love Jesus. The people that were representing that said, oh, I can't do this no more. It was just too much going on. So just the peace that I have over my life, and honestly, just to cleanse and to cover up, I was just like, yo. And a lot of people, just the respect level, when I come in my garb, you just get a different level of respect. A lot of people are afraid of it because they're like, oh, they just automatically assume. I said, no, we're not going to do that. But at the end of the day, my belief and my relationship with God doesn't have anything to do, because there are a lot of people who garb, and I said, and they're strippers, and I was like, wait, y'all are allowed, but I don't even get involved with that. That's baffling to me. I'm just like, wow, yeah. But I just was like, I wanted to make that decision to make sure that our house was like in order, and we're not perfect, but we're happy and we can sleep at night. Like I have peace over my life.
And that's the most important thing. And I think that was the reason why we started this podcast, because, people look at different people's life and they think everything is perfect.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people make decisions on their life because they're like, well, their life is perfect. And I think we did it because we was like, our marriage and relationship, we got ups, we got downs, we got left. Like, there's so many things that we learned that we just had to figure out. And, at the end of the day, what made it great was we continue to work on it. We continue to argue, we continue to work on our relationship, and we're going to continue to do it. So people get that side of, oh, shit, this not the Cosby family. These motherfuckers is fucked up just like us. Right?
Real talk.
Right? It fucked up just like us. But,
life,
but
man.
we stay together, we work hard, and we try to make this work.
Well, the problem is that a lot of people, especially people that are in the public eye, they try to force an image of perfection. Like, look at these perfect pictures. And I mean, I think my pictures are pretty.
Y'all pictures are
I think they're pretty good, but
Who be taking
it's just the
that joke looks
Crazy. You'll be crazy with the picture.
but it's just a picture. It doesn't represent maybe the argument that we had right before we took this picture or right after we took that picture, or what goes into our day to day. Putting out an image of perfection it's really doing our culture and just the world a disservice, because that's what people are looking to as their reference point or as their inspiration. So for us, we found that it's a lot more important to put real out there and talk about and people take from it what they will, whether they can say, wow, I can identify with that, or maybe that's going to be a problem I'm going to run into in 2 or 3 years when I get married, or maybe I'll bypass all of that and have my level of perfection. But for us, the most important thing is providing some sort of a reference point that people can kind of identify with. Do you know what I mean?
When I look at y'all pictures, I'm just like, yo, that's a family right there. I told Gia the other day, I said, damn, keeping up with the Kardashians, y'all need to keep up with the Caseys because that's real. Like the way the way y'all share, I was just like, that's amazing. And the way, like, just the way y'all are with y'all family, like, that is so beautiful. That's all I know is family. So anything outside of that, it's just like a glitch in the matrix. So it's like I have to reboot, like, what's going on here? So I'm happy that I can look at y'all and say, yeah, I aspire to be like that because I know y'all are real in every shape, form of the word.
No, we
So
appreciate that. You know, and
and
the crazy thing about it is people, it's funny, people look at our family like we are a cuckoo family. Like today, my wife was, she was eating, right? And I wanted to take a nap. My daughter was in the room. I'm like, well, come cuddle with me. Your mom's doing something. Cuddle with me. And my daughter cuddled with me, right?
Yeah, Madison.
And went to sleep.
Like, mommy can't cuddle with me right now. She's getting ready. Come cuddle with me.
So I had the 15-year-old and the 3-year-old cuddling with me when I took a nap. Like that's what it is. My son is outside, wakes me up like, Dad, I want to play football right now, and it's raining. So I set up the football thrower in the garage, shot that shit out the garage so I wouldn't get wet. But that's the type of shit we do. Like tomorrow we going snow tubing. Like that's the type of shit. That
all of us, the babies, are all going snow tubing.
We don't care. It is what it is. But I just want to say thank y'all for joining us, man. Y'all told real stories, and that's what I think people like to hear. To say that, damn, my relationship. I look at their relationship, I look at Envy's relationship, and it's just real shit, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But Mo, we got to close this out differently. Well, first of all, thekcrew@gmail.com if you want to holler. That's THEE, kccrew@gmail.com. And don't forget, February 13th, we're going to be live at Caroline's in New York. Come join us. It's always great conversation. So, Mo, I want to end it with a prayer.
All right.
So you the preacher's daughter, so give us a prayer.
Let me see. What do I say when I pray? Just truly thank God for this union, for this insight, for this foundation, for this realness, for this reality, for honestly this openness, for this friendship, for everything that comes about today. I'm so used to singing our way out of this, but sometimes you got to pray your way through a situation. So hopefully you got more insight on us, and we honor and we respect, and we are so grateful for the KC crew for allowing us here, because I always hear what my husband says, but to share that with the world, that does my heart, my heart is smiling right now. Thank you so much, God, for trusting me enough to give me a family and a third and final chance at love, because I know it's in my heart. My last name is Loving. Now it's Dargan, but I just know how I grew up, and I just know how I am. And thank God for taking me out of my ways and just like opening doors that, man, listen, nobody can shut. And I'm grateful for every opportunity and for every new person that comes in my life that's genuine. That's all I ever pray for, and that may everybody that comes in your circle or around you, that their life is blessed, because y'all truly, y'all are, I know I have ratchet prayers, but y'all are really killing the game right now, because a lot of people that looked up to others that are preachers and this, that they let them down. They were disappointed. But I didn't come here looking for perfection. I came here just to expound and expand on my peace that I already have, that a lot of people don't understand. I technically should be crazy right now, but I'm not. So in all of my zany and wild and ratchet and turned up ways, God, you still see fit to bring friends in our life that love and want to see me happy. So with that, we thank you, alhamdulillah, for everything. Inshallah, everybody got something, because we just came to spread love and peace, prosperity. Yeah, me.
Thank you, Mo.
Yes.
Thanks for having
Thank you,
us.
Dynamite.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
you guys.
prayer.
Thank you.
It's the KC crew. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.